Good day, children. And you can see the beautiful natural scenery, that is a plain, a meadow, and the two children running about, and the sun is shining from the clouds. So I have described all this. I'm saying the two children were very happy. It was a green meadow and the sun is shining from the clouds. So I'm describing how everyone is. They look really happy. So today we're going to have a topic which describes any nouns, and that is adjectives. So this is for English grammar, a formative evaluation topic. So lesson number 19, adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe a noun or a pronoun. Happy children. Then playful dog. How the dog is very playful and how the children are very happy looking at the dog. So you describe what the mood of a person is, how the person is. So we shall see how the topic becomes very clear with more examples. We shall study three types of adjectives. First one is adjective of quality. It asks the question, what kind of? For example, Kim was a happy girl. So here you have a picture of Kim and the next picture is Harsh. Now, when you look at the reaction or the emotions of these two people, one looks very happy, the other looks very angry. So then these words, I have placed it in the sentence. For example, Kim was a happy girl. Okay, she looks happy and you can say Kim is a happy girl. But what about Harsh? I cannot say the same thing about Harsh because he shows altogether the different emotion. So what kind of emotion is that? He is very angry. So I'm asking the question, how is or what kind of boy Harsh is? Harsh is an angry boy. So the words happy and angry describes the qualities of Kim and Harsh. So that is called as adjective of quality. Now the second one is adjective of quantity. Now adjective of quantity means it describes the quantity in any of the containers or wherever it is. For example, there is much water in the jug. Or the second sentence can be, there is little water in the jug. So you have to ask the question, how much? When you're asking the question, how much, it describes and tells you what is the quantity. When you have a look at this picture, you can clearly come to know what I am talking about. How much water is there in the jug? The first is, there is much water. The second picture, there is little water. So it clearly describes the quantity that the container contains or it holds. The container holds. For example, much and little. Much is, it's quite high, or the level of the water is quite high. It's full, almost full. But when you look at the second jug, there is only little water. So the question, when you talk about how much of water is there, then you talk about adjective of quantity. It describes the quantity of any liquids. The words much and little describes the quantity of water of anything in the jug is called as an adjective of quantity. So these are the two types. Let's move on to the third part. Adjective of number means it will clearly ask the question, how many? Adjective of number, there are 20 boys going for a picnic, or there were 20 boys going for a picnic. So you just say, okay, tomorrow I need a list of the boys going for picnic. How many are they? So what question you asked? How many are they? So the answer will be there are 20 boys who are going for the picnic. So let's see in the next slide to clearly understand what is the meaning of adjective of number. We have 2 hands. How many hands? 2. So it describes how many hands you have. Then we have 55 students in our class. How many students in our class? 55. Then I met her several times. Now here the word several does not count in numbers, but it automatically answers the question how many times. I have met her several times. You have not counted, but you cannot say how much time. How much time have you met? No. How many times have you met? I have met her several times. So something which you can count comes in the adjective of number. There it goes. Numerical adjectives and nouns. Something that states number and something that states how frequently the thing is done. The words 2, 55 and several describes the number. This is called an adjective of number. Now for example, now let's see which are the words in the following story. So far you have done 3 types of adjectives. We have to study only 3 right now. When we go to the higher classes, we can learn more. Read the story and pick out the adjectives given there. Now there are 3 types. First is adjective of quality. You will ask the question, what kind of? It will give you the quality of a person or a thing or whatever. Second is how much of water, especially for liquids. So the quantity is answered. Okay, it describes the quantity and the question you ask here is how much. Third is adjective of number. It answers the question how many. So you need to ask these 3 questions. Automatically you will understand which is the right adjective which is used there. Once a farmer saw 2 large snakes in the field. He ran back and called a few villagers. They came with big sticks to kill the snakes. But before they came, the snakes had already disappeared into a pond which had little water. Feeling very sad, they returned back to their homes. So that's the story. That's a plain story. Now the second story I have underlined which are the adjectives in the given sentence. For example, once a farmer saw 2 large snakes. So 2 and large describes the snakes, the number of snakes and how they were. He ran back and called a few villagers. How many villagers were called? So again it answers the question. So few. They came with big sticks. What kind of sticks were there? Big sticks. But before they came, the snakes had already disappeared into a pond which had little water. Feeling very sad, they returned back to their homes. Now here we have to find out which are the adjectives. Now here we have to find out 3 types. One is adjective of quality, quantity and number. Now here the word 2 describes the number. Okay, how many snakes were there? 2. So 2 will become the adjective of number. Then the next one will be large. What kind of snakes were there? They were large snakes in the field. So large becomes or shows the quality or describes the snakes. So it is a quality, therefore it's adjective of quality. Then he ran back and called a few villagers. So villagers, for how many villagers? So adjective of number. So the word few comes in number. So they came with the big sticks to kill the snakes. So big, what kind of sticks were they? They were big sticks. But before they came, the snakes had already disappeared into the pond which had little water. How much of water was there? Little water. You cannot say how many water. You just have to ask the question, how much of water was there in the pond? There was little water. So little water, too large snake, few villagers, these are the words which describes the nouns. For example, too large describes the word snakes, few describes the words villagers, sticks, big describes the word sticks, and little describes the word water. So this is about your topic of adjectives and how you need to underline that. Now here, underline the adjectives and state its kind. Kavita has long nails. Now you can ask the question here is, what kind of nails does Kavita has? Long nails. So long will become the adjective of quality. So because it answers the question, what kind of? Second one, there were thousands of people sitting in the hall. How many people were sitting in the hall? There were 1,000 people, or there were 1,000 people sitting in the hall. So the word how many answers, how many people? Answer is 1,000. So the word 1,000 here becomes the adjective of number because it answers the question how many. I can see less oil in the jar. How much of oil can I see? Less oil. So less is the word which answers the question how much. So it is adjective of quantity. Fourth one, my father gave me some work to do. How much of work did my father gave me? He gave me some work. So how much? It answers the question how much. So it is adjective of quantity. And fifth one is she gave many toys to play with. So how many toys she gave me? She gave many toys to play with. Many. How many toys? Many toys. So many becomes the adjective of number. And the sixth one is the princess was a very pretty girl. What kind of girl was the princess? Pretty girl. It describes the princess's quality, pretty. So pretty becomes the adjective of quality. So this is how you have learned the adjectives. Adjective is the describing noun, and you have learned three types of adjectives: adjectives of quality, quantity, and number. Adjective states the question what kind of, it answers the question what kind of. Then adjective of quantity has the question how much, and adjective of number answers the question how many. So that's all for your topic of adjectives. We shall have the comparison of adjectives in the next PPT slides. Thank you.